Has this ever happened to you? Okay, this year I'll work out 3 times a week, eat better, lose weight, start my business, and stop scrolling in bed in the morning.
3 days later.
Oops. You had big energy and high hopes, but then life happened. With ADHD, something always gets in the way. And it's not about willpower or laziness most of the time. It's because we make 5 common mistakes that keep us stuck and sabotage our progress. I've made them myself, and I see them all the time with my coaches. But the good news is, these mistakes aren't just fixable, they're completely avoidable if you know what to look for. So in this video, I'll show you the 5 biggest mistakes that stop ADHDers from reaching their goals and the super simple fixes to get you unstuck and making real progress without forcing yourself or fighting how your brain works. Now, let's see if you're making mistake number 1. Right, this week, I'm finally starting my workout routine. I'm pumped. I'm pooped. I missed a day, my streak's broken, so why bother? I quit. The all or nothing trap. If I can't do it all, why do it at all? Why do we think like this? It's just how our brains are wired. And it actually makes total sense. I explain the ADHD background of what's really going on in a lot more detail in this month's newsletter. It's free, no spam ever, and I'll send you my best advice once a month. Last month's newsletter took me a whole week to write. It was so valuable, full of examples and actionable advice. So click the link below to get subscribed because I do this for you. For now, just know this. All or nothing thinking is part of ADHD. And as an ADHD coach, I'm here to help you work with your brain, not against it. So if you want to set all or nothing goals, set them. But pick the smallest possible habits that you can do 100% of the time reliably to get to your goals. Don't start with the gym if you're not a gym person yet. Can you walk for 5 minutes? Can you do a 10-minute workout? Great. Then do that for a week. If it was too easy, make it a bit harder. But make sure you can still do 100%. If it was okay, do it again next week. If it was too hard, scale it back a bit. And if you want to make sure that you can't fail, keep the easiest version of your habit as backup. And if you're ever tired or sick or having a bad day, do that version. Just one more thing. You'll still miss a day eventually. Even if it's just because you forgot. Sorry, here's the fix. Do that easiest version of your habit for each day that you missed. That way, you're still doing your habit all the days. You're just over 24 hours late. I've done my morning routine right before bed on multiple occasions, just so that I don't break my streak. It kept me going for over 2 years now. So this works. You can find my morning routine course with all of my best ADHD-friendly advice for a productive and successful morning below. It's a step-by-step guide to building your ideal morning routine and getting shit done. But if you still struggle to stick to your habits, you might be making this next mistake. I failed my reading challenge for 4 years in a row now. That's 80 books I should have read. This year, I'll read all of them and I'll finally catch up. And I can't do it. I've been reading for hours every day and I'm still so far behind. Forget it. It's over. So many ADHDers feel behind in life and we don't want slow progress. I want to catch up ASAP. But here's the thing. Just because you haven't had cake in like 2 years doesn't mean that you should eat a whole cake in one sitting now. You'll feel sick. You'll hate it. Probably not want to see another cake for at least another 2 years. Instead, you want to slice the cake. Take one slice, enjoy it, and leave the rest in the fridge. Now, you've got something to look forward to. And that's what I want you to do with your big, lofty goals. Write them down, promise yourself, I'm getting there. I'll catch up. Then, slice the cake. Break those goals into tiny milestones that you can reach every week. Start with the first milestone and put the rest in the fridge. Tape your plan to the wall or something. Remind your brain you're on track. Like, yes, brain, we're getting a 6-pack. We're on week 1, step 1, do 5 daily sit-ups. And don't make this next mistake. Wow, that was amazing. How long did you practice? 5 hours a day for the past 15 years? What? But I want to play like that. Well, you can start by playing some scales, down, learn the notes, and blah, 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 blah. Blah. I guess I can't. Sometimes the end result is so cool. Playing the piano, rock climbing, writing a book, awesome. But the day-to-day, boring. Boring enough to make you quit. So here's the fix. You promise your brain the big awesome thing. Park it somewhere safe, on your whiteboard, on your journal. Then think of the coolest, most awesome milestone that you can hit in a week. Sure, you could play some scales, but I learned the Totoro theme song on the piano in 1 week. In 2 weeks, I could play a simple version of In the End by Linkin Park, and in 3 weeks, I could do all of them, the Titanic theme, and even a bit of theory. It was so satisfying all the way through. I'll link my piano playlist down below. I just want you to use your creativity. Make your milestones easy, fun, and exciting. And before you know it, you'll be halfway to reaching that big, awesome goal. Unless you do this. Cool guy wins marathon, stays cool. I should run a marathon. Some goals sound amazing on paper, but the reality of it, not for us. So before you sign up for that marathon group, add a trial run. Do what it takes to reach the goal for 2 weeks. If you like it, keep going. But if you hate it, no problem. It was just a trial. You didn't fail. In fact, you learned something useful. You like the goal for a reason. It's a challenge or the sense of achievement, whatever it is, you can find other ways to fulfill that same need, ones that actually fit your lifestyle. Maybe you're more of a yoga person and being able to touch the floor with your hands for the first time will give you that same sense of achievement, but you'll actually enjoy it, which makes it so much more likely that you'll stick to it and reach your big, awesome goal. Just don't make this final mistake and you'll get there. So now I know what to do. These goals are fun, doable, but they're still too much. Here's the fix. You promise yourself all these things, but not at once. Think of it like starting to watch 5 new series at once. It's just overwhelming. Instead, you can cycle through them. Pick one series that you want to focus on first and watch it for a few days or a week. Then once you get into the story, you can either keep going or start another series if you want something new. So do the same with your goals. You start with one goal and focus on it for a week. Once you've made some progress on that, keep going if you're having fun, or move on to a different goal for a while. Like, oh, I could try to work on all of these goals at once and not get far by the end of the week. Or I could focus on Totoro this week, nail it, and get my first forward fold next week. Once one of these habits feels solid, you can also take up 2 or 3 at the same time. And if you want to stay productive without forcing yourself, watch this video next for my 6-step system for getting things done, even when you feel stuck, paralyzed, or you're procrastinating. If you're feeling tired, overwhelmed, or burnt out, watch this video instead for my simple productivity system that helps you work on your goals consistently instead of burning out and procrastinating for 3 weeks.